backpacker.
Reflex 21, Fortitude 19, Will 18.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Reflex 17, Fortitude 16, Will 19.
So Fortitude and Will are my like class high ones. Reflex is usually crappy, but I've spent so much of my leveling ability on martial arts, and the predictive defense one was a big one, being able to use my intelligence instead of my dexterity for reflex defense.
Yeah, that's
Oh, the babies with their impressive stats. 24, 23, 16.
holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I try to
bragger.
run it. Only thing that hits me is criticals, but unfortunately, it seems that's the majority of things I get.
And
Bragger,
next
bragger,
level,
bragger.
my armor becomes irrelevant, so I can start wearing my pinstripe suit again.
Everyone, everyone buys the Han Solo vest because it worked for him all through his career. You know,
Yeah.
think about it. Was he wearing the vest when his son killed him? Nope, he was not.
No, he intentionally failed that.
Yeah. I love you,
Yeah,
son. Oh, that hurts a lot more than I thought
He
it
was
would.
trying to teach him a lesson.
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't work.
That was
It did work.
flat-footed.
Yeah, the man way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
learn.
Imagine what it would have been like trying to teach him anything else.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got Rover up there pinned in where he can't come down and
No,
rip your arms
seriously though,
off.
like that kid's so whiny. I would love to see how they represent his childhood.
Who,
Yeah.
Ben?
Because
They shipped him off, is what they did.
he's absolutely that's sort of.
It's like, oh my god, we can't send. All right, where do we send him? Send him to learn from his uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what the Jedi do no matter what. Like,
There's a deliverance moment.
they kidnap kids.
Yeah. No, the Jedi are not exactly the predators. Actually, both the Jedi and the
They
Sith
don't.
historically have it wrong.
It's worse. They don't kidnap kids. They go in and they talk the parents down. Your kid is special. They're coming with us. It's the
No, it's your kid is special.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's if they're like, you're not taking my boy.
By any other name, that's called child labor.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
The Jedis are not the good guys.
And I'm sorry, but totally like pedo vibe coming out of that place.
Oh, Yoda, come on.
So many memes with Yoda over his shoulder, just kind of looking like they both got that flat expression on their faces, like they're spooning, and he's just like, "Help you, I will. If you could just help me, thank you. All right, we're good."
Close eyes and reach deep, will you? Force is strong. You can feel it.
In the rock, in the tree, in this rubber staff. All right. Speaking of statistics, shout out to King of First. Zeke, one of our patrons, was asking for stat blocks, and Aiden and Jay had sent theirs, and I had emailed them. I was failing in trying to get them up on social media. So the longer you guys are talking about your stats, one thing we want to make clear is whatever they start at for your defenses, your armor classes, as it were, because we don't do saving throws. What they do, instead of you taking your bonus, I have a +4 will defense, and you roll your d20, they just give it to you like you're taking 10 and treat it like an armor class, and the guy attacks your will, or the effect attacks you. Now they had this in Pathfinder, some homebrew stuff, where you could have spell attack rolls, and it was neat. So that instead of a player going, I do a reflex save versus your 21 DC of a fireball, the guy with the fireball could pick up a d20 and go, all right, let's go. Whoosh, add his modifiers to the DC. Instead of taking 10 and ending up with 21, he would roll a d20 and add 11 instead of taking 10, and you could have a different biodegradable fireball coming your way with everybody else going, eh, and they would have these static numbers. And this is what Star Wars has done. Now, every level, they all go up by 1. And this is why Matt was saying you don't need armor anymore, because eventually your level you get to 7th level or whatever, and it trumps just about any armor you're wearing, and you're good to go. You just walk around,
I think it's actually 6th level.
Is it 6?
And there's nothing better that you can wear that's worth it. There are things you can put on that'll give you higher ACs, but you're sacrificing usually a ton of mobility.
Yeah. And
You do sack it. I run around with a 4-square movement.
they're also asking about multi-classing. And I believe what you do is you get pretty much everything except the training feats, and you get to pick one of the set, right?
You are correct.
Or is it 1 feat and 1 talent? Or is it just one thing?
You get a talent. You always get that. But the feats, you select one out of their starting feats.
Yeah. So like simple weapons, lightsaber, and whatever force sensitive. You take Jedi. You imagine multi-classing into Jedi and it's like, I take lightsaber. Yeah, force sensitive? Nope. Is that legal?
Sure. General Grievous much?
I don't know.
Like,
All right, so
General Dooku has trained me in your Jedi ways. And then he just turns into a walking blender. It's just like, doesn't seem like a lot of training went into that.
No, when you have a wrist that articulates in a 360-degree angle.
no, dude was like a walking, talking, sparring
Slap
dummy.
chop.
Sparring dummy. And he's
No,
like,
slap chop.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, just right. Think about it. Dooku's like, I got to get some training in. I'm getting old. You know, Anakin's coming. It's like, hey, you with the 4 arms, spin around here. Here's lightsabers for you. You know, just a little fencing action. Oh, you'll be great. Oh, you're training me? Yeah, I'm training you. Mm-hmm.
hey,
He just
he
used him
had
as a
a
punching
lot
bag.
of Jedi
Exactly. He
lightsabers.
literally is. You know those peg boards that the kung fu guys do, and they attack the pegs, but the idea is as it swings, that's their knee coming at you, their high shot, low shot, and they do all the blocks. See Jackie Chan working his way around the pegs, you know, that kind of thing. Build up speed, endurance, and people's bloodied fist hitting you as hard as a wooden board. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Dooku's endgame, you know. I mean, just imagine the first time Grievous spun.
I'm
Oh
pretty
my-
sure his end game was getting struck down by an angsty teenager, but
Yeah.
No, but if you think about it,
the
General
look on
Grievous
his
is actually
face, though,
very-
man, the exact same look my dog gives when I'm eating.
He was very good with lightsabers. So think about how many Jedi he
Dooku
killed.
was legendary.
No, I'm talking about Grievous.
Grievous.
Oh, Grievous, yeah.
Because Grievous had a collection of lightsabers, which means he killed a lot of Jedi. There's
Yeah.
7 different lightsaber forms, and a lot of them are offensive based. The one who beat him, Kenobi, was one of the very few defensive form masters.
Yes.
Yeah.
which is
Shoot him with a
why he
gun.
won.
You use the Indiana Jones style. Remember that scene where the guy walks out with the sword and he just shoots him? That's how Kenobi beat him, man.
That too.
Boom.
Well, actually, I watched a video on that, which is actually Obi-Wan is historically one of the strongest Jedi
Yeah.
ever. He went toe-to-toe with Anakin at his peak.
Yeah. And yet he was not very strong in the Force. He actually struggled with it as a Padawan.
Yeah, and when he opened up Grievous's chest cavity, that Grievous's armor has taken direct hits from Star Destroyers.
Yep.
And the dude walks away from it. But Obi-Wan runs up there and goes, "Uah!" and Mortal Kombat's into his chest.
Yeah, there's a cartoon where Mace Windu fought him and like crushed him like a can, and that's why he rasps when he breathes and gimps. Because he was all kinds of crazy spider, and some of those sabers he had he took from Padawan. He'd kill the master, and then Padawan's easier. You know, that's 2 for me on this cloak side. You know,
I want Mace Windu from the comic books. The Jedi who like does the
Oh, yeah.
Zen pose and floats in the air, and 8 lightsabers come whirling out around him, and he manipulates them all with the Force. That's the Mace Windu I wanted to see.
that's like the end fight in KOTOR 2 when you fight the old lady that's been
Whoa,
grooming you.
spoilers!
Oh,
game's
Jeff
like
Strikes.
40 years old, dude.
20-year-old game.
Yeah.
And I'm
There
22.
is
I
a
haven't
statute of limitations on like when the media comes out. Like at this point, if you have a spoiler for
I
Game of
guess-
Thrones, it's kind of open market at this
Yeah,
point.
I think it's pretty much a year after it's open season for spoilers.
Yeah,
you haven't seen it within a year.
Exactly.
That's
like so,
very
you know,
most
so
cases,
so there he is in Game of Thrones, and he's eating sausage, and dude's looking at him like a dog. That was mine, but it's like a whole different kind of mine. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Star Wars: The Saga Edition Dawn of Defiance campaign. I am your host and GM Jeff Ball, and as you can tell, we are stalling. That's right, we're not ready for tonight in the least. Today kind of got away from us all. Oh yes, I have encounters and things I've read, but there's no minis on the board. There's a party that's, you know, according to the adventure, should follow the carrot, and they've split up in 10 different directions. But you know what? If you're a good GM, you will demand they stay on the rails. No, if you're a good GM, you just go with it. You just let the conversations come and flow and let them role play, and then you set a timer. You know, oh that's it, guys. Sorry, get out of my house. You know, my wife's come home from work, and you didn't have to do anything. And that's our goal tonight. How much time can we burn but still stay relevant? Speaking of time burning,
Ooh, are we ever really relevant? Look at the system we're playing, Jeff.
it matters. It's a really good canon story. You know, when we
I love this system, and I love the fact that nobody takes responsibility for it anymore.
Well, you know why? Because this was the prototype for 4th edition that D&D that everyone like hated. So they're just like, they didn't even. Oh, okay. I guess they just just kind of lump it and forget it.
It's so much more like 3.5 than it is 4th.
Yeah.
Like it's like a perfect clone of 3.5, and then they just like sprinkled Star Wars on top of it, and like how do we manage the Force? And oh, by the way, we figured out a way to trick out skills.
the D20 Star Wars and D20 Revised is 3.5 verbatim, except for they switched to the vitality system for hit points, and Jedi drain vitality, as in hit points. You're killing yourself every time you lift that tree, kind of thing, which really helmstrung them. In this, when you have your suite of cards, your suite of force powers to choose from, that's a direct lead into 4th edition, where everybody had their little cards and what you could do per encounter. But in the prototype in this, I think they were more right than wrong. The changes that occurred from here into 4th edition, it's like, what are you doing? It wasn't so bad,
There's a few things, like, don't get me wrong, there's a few things that are like, ooh, that's really dirty. But
yeah,
I mean, it if anything, it just makes the game a little bit more high stakes.
Yeah, but we're here,
and I kind of dig it
for the story. When we saw Rogue One and went, yep, old school Star Wars, and Star Wars was going off in all kinds of Disney type directions before they even had bought out, and I'm looking at the story for Dawn of Defiance. 3 months after Order 66, you guys are secretly doing the Black Ops wet work for Bail Organa.
Well, this is like the most Wild West era.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, the Galactic Republic has just ceased Coruscant. The Jedis have been wiped out, so that, universal peacekeeper troop that they'd send out to pretty much resolve anything, it's not there no more. And so people are staking claim, people are fighting back. It's just it's very wild. It's like frontierish. That's the word I'm looking for.
Frontierish?
Yeah.
So during this
opportunity
during this entire set, I've downloaded a brand new audio from tabletopaudio.com called Space Laser Battle. So this is like, imagine those hallway fights in Star Wars, like the full-on back and forth and epic music. Been playing the entire time while we've been doing this rant, going, hey, this type of thing, to prove a point that it's like music plays such a large part in theater. Now, I love theater of the mind. I love a raw, quiet dinner table with just you're leaning in, working on one particular player, the rogue or whatever, and he has the entire party's fate because they're all stuck in the room. The wizard's questioning, cleric's buffing, the fighter's eating chips because it's not his turn yet. There's no combat going on, that kind of thing. Like, there's no sound. There's just you, the players, and the voice. I dig that. I really do. But growing up watching too many movies, I am really into experimenting with this set, and sometimes these guys listen back to the audio, like watch the video that we've produced, and they're like, wow, that's so different than the feel that when we were in the moment because of what audio we've selected. So in that vein, gone back to some classic dun 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 dun, that kind of thing. Just, and the sort of electronic trombone, a little bit soft marching. No reason that we're doing some kind of imperial curfew march. No reason at all. You guys are on Bespin. Bespin? Lovely planet.
No.
Get gas giant, I hear. Lots of chemicals and things that you can market. Make yourself some laser blasts and stuff. And on this planet, floating high above the clouds, is a luxury city. It's a huge dome suspended in space. And it's currently not under Imperial Empire Galactic occupation. That doesn't mean they're not here. Doesn't mean they're not got several hands in the pies working the people that do control it. But right now, all eyes are about the yearly Sabac tournament. This year, it's being held at the Royal Casino. Formerly, in past years, one of the mint locations to hold this tournament was at the Yareth Bespin Hotel, which you guys caught a glimpse of the lobby. And in that lobby, we found... Do we remember his name? Starts with Baron.
Baron Sasha, no.
Kithris.
On Kilderstein.
Come on, you schmoozed the girl at the counter. You got his name, threw some credits around. Baron Kithris.
Kithris.
Yes.
Yeah, totally memorable name.
I
Yes.
knew it was a K, but I could not.
Baron Askis.
I kept thinking Kefka. I was like, nope, that's Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, that was...
Yeah, so Baron Askis and the twins, I mean quadruplets, nudge wink, right? And these very colorful bodyguards to draw attention all marched out of there, but going about their business, and have gone off into the city. Who did we put on him? You guys talked about Merrick going to talk to the owner of the casino for a job, for a way to get in on the tournament. Matt recently contacted Switch, the gangster, back on Zelzon Station, that we sometimes work and do a little magic back and forth and feed the machine, as it were, and he has a way to get somebody in. He has an entry fee, 10,000 credits, sitting with his guy, where you guys are supposed to, if you get in with Switch's way, bump this guy up, like, play for him, get him going, try and get this guy winning. Do you remember?
I think we should get in every way.
But if you're sitting at the
bases,
yeah, Matt. But if you're sitting at the table for Switch, do you think you can, overcome your urge just to try and, because do you really want a skeletal robot gangster and a bunch of?
Oh, it's going to be so easy to lose at this game in Roll20. I guarantee that.
But you must know the final rules, the fine rules of Carillion Spike, and you will maybe be able to win.
Oh yeah, I was doing some reading.
Yeah, speaking of someone that's been delving into, the real Sabac, Corey Shazon, everyone, cameoing as Rema Gilligar. When you ran into me at the store, all excited, tell the audience exactly what you told me. There are 3 types of Sabac?
Yeah, there are a few different versions of Sabac. Honestly, I don't remember what they all are. The one that sticks in my head is Carillion Spike, which is what Han Solo and Lando Calrissian were playing when Han won the Millennium Falcon. And if you watch closely, you will see there's a pair of dice that hang in the Millennium Falcon, and those are the dice that Han used when he won the Falcon. It's rather interesting, the games are, and they have some twists. And for anybody who really wants to play, if you check your Google Play Store, you can find an app that will let you play Sabac.
Key point there, Corey, being it's played with cards and dice.
Yes.
In that version of Sabac. So
yes,
right.
Very, very, very cool.
Yeah. So, when we get to the actual casino, and then there's rules and some D20 dice rolls about gambling. We've run into gambling in the Saga system before. It was pretty streamlined, but rightfully so that you can kind of get on with the ambient and the fun and that type of thing, as opposed to playing a complicated gamble. I'm not adverse to digging into this true Sabac a bit more, and even if we have to possibly film something outside of air and highlight it or bring that video back in or something, this really intrigues me. So long as you got those that aren't playing don't mind sitting there and actually watching, 3 hours of us playing Sabac. I know it's a quick game. Does anyone, can anyone compare Sabac? Is this space poker? Is this space Jim Rummy? What is this? Wes would know. He's not here. Doug would know. Yeah.
I think it could potentially be a fairly long game, depending on how risky everybody is with their chips.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're betting, it does feel probably more like Jim Romoli or actual poker. The go-to bet and bluff, and not to mention he's pulling like cards and putting them in his hand. Sounds, looks very pokerish to me.
Read the rules, and it's going to turn out to be like an advanced version of Space Go Fish.
Yeah. You imagine that? Why Wookiees get so upset and rip your arms off if they lose at that shit, because it just makes no sense, right?
No, everyone knows that Wookiees cheat.
That they cheat.
Yes.
Do you care to elaborate?
The last Star Wars movie. Chewie's kicking their ass at chess.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh no, we'll save it." Yeah. As soon as he walked away, they're like, "Yeah, he's totally cheating," and they turned the game off.
Oh.
No, that's just because they can't win.
Well, Chewie in particularly is very old, but that's canonical that Wookiees cheat.
Interesting.
We know if that is true, then we know 100% of Wookiees cheat because he's the only Wookiee that we know in the movie series.
Okay. So, who do we have on the Baron? And what moves, where do you guys want to start?
I believe we sent what's his name? Vabesh after the Baron on recon. Did we not do that, Joe?
I do believe so. I think that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yep. You had a complimentary skill set. For
Nothing inconspicuous about a 6-foot bug in a poncho just shadowing you amongst all the humies, you know.
Would you question the giant bug that follows you?
That's true. That's true. I guess you would.
I mean, less likely to be, called out than the, tattooed cone head.
Oh yeah, like we never lose you in a crowd, man. It's like, where'd the Padawan go? Oh, there he is. Hey, Posa. Yeah.
Or the large pile of man flesh.
Yeah, it looks like a land shark, just kind of.
Or the guy in the pinstripe stormtrooper suit.
Well, see, I always thought he was that distraction thing. Like this. I think this is why Matt respects the Baron, because he's got very colorful looking bodyguards, right? So, Matt's there going drawing the aggro. You never see Merrick coming. When Sasha, you never see Sasha coming.
You always see Merrick coming.
So much of the wall, and there's a little striped guy. So, no, seriously, guys, what?
Yeah, we had the Bugman on the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The Bugman.
Vesh gets the line for the party line number, so that he can keep in touch.
Yeah. Give
Party line.
Give Gil the. Oh no, you guys give actually, didn't you guys give Gil when he took the guns? And you guys give Gil your comm number or whatever, so you could. Follow?
Yes, we traded comm numbers, so everybody's got a good way to find everybody.
Yeah. Now that
we called team up on the operation.
Yeah, no, that's good. But the problem is, if like you guys enter combat or whatever, like those are seconds. Like there's no way a guy's going to come from the other side of Bespin or whatever the hell he's doing there in 6 seconds. I missed 3 rounds of combat. What the hell? Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, it's just a better way for us to do like street magic.
Yep.
And watch as I make it appear.
So, speaking of people appearing that may or may not are not supposed to, Ramagilligar.
Yes, sir.
You left the bowels of the city. You went back to your business and planted your bodyguard on your old friend / rival / sister's former husband /
secret lover.
Yeah.
Secret lover. Shh.
All those
Don't be
arms,
telling
right?
people things like that.
All those arms, right? See, now all I can see is that great big slobby guy, Obi-Wan, the forearm dude coming at you. Right?
Dex. His name was Dex.
Dex, thank you. Dex. Oh yeah, the reach around maze. Yeah, that's where that was. Yeah, it's like, this is a Camino dart. Yeah, it takes down. Just something wrong there.
Depends on how big your
You want to marry my sister? Well, that depends on how much you pay him, right? Kind of. That's all. Sorry, that's all backstory. We'll get back to that. But right now,
actually, I think if you remember early on, I asked how deep somebody's pocketbook was.
Yeah. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll take that random mic hit as a
Yeah.
But you left. You went about your own business. You put the bug on them, and now you're out in the street. It's in the main, avenues of Bespin, waiting to make contact with someone that you hope can keep you from getting kicked out of the Sabac tournament. Because 5 years ago, you were in it, and you got booted for cheating.
No. Gil doesn't cheat.
Exactly. So, but you're still a marked man. They thought you were. So there's got to be some way, a little extra cash, somebody knows a little something, so that when they run your profile, or your rap sheet, as it were, that they don't instantly have your name on file. So you're out here looking to meet with a hacker. Just a little insurance policy. I mean, you're in the clear, you're a guy on the up and up. It was just bad luck that, they thought you were cheating and got you booted with a bunch of other people that were cheating. And, just a little insurance policy. You're looking to meet with a hacker. Okay?
All right.
So this hacker sends his droid to you. So along comes this R4 unit. Comes up, just spots you, comes right over, little bibbity boppity boop. Do you speak binary?
I believe that would be a correct. Let me just double check that. Yes, I do.
Okay.
How convenient.
Are you the guy? Asked the little unit.
I'm the guy.
You're here at the appointed time on the appointed walkway. The little head spins left and spins right. A couple more beeps. So I'm asking again. Are you sure you're the guy?
I'm the guy. Trust me.
All right, come with me. So he turns around, does a 180, and just leads you off.
All right, then we follow along,
Okay.
maybe surreptitiously paying attention to make sure there's, glance left, glance right, just sort of paying attention to see if there's any
eyes on you kind of thing,
Yeah,
the guy in the balcony with the micro binocs going, that's right, lead him right into that alley, like shit like that guy, like just that kind
of... Yeah, kind of something like that.
It's just anyone taking note of the transaction. Yeah, no, I got you. Unless I'm completely wrong here, this is what you were going for. Can I have a perception check, please?
A perception check, of course, good sir. And there it is, right there. Or not. Let's try that again. Click. Oh, there we go. Oh, isn't that lovely? Looks like a 3.
Yep. A total of 6 down in the chat there. So that would be, oh yeah, no one's got eyes on you. You're good, man. It's like, I'm good.
Look, there's a droid over there. Yeah. There's a guy in a black coat. Look, there's something shiny.
Well, you got to adjust the hat, right? It's like, I don't want to be recognized, and I don't see anyone either. So we're good. Yeah, we're good.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah. Okay, Gilligan. Gilligan. Oh, wait a minute. All right. It's the mindset we're in today. So off you go, and we will get back to you. Winding through the streets. Merrick, the muted. I believe you told Raul that you wanted to possibly inquire about some working security detail at the Royal Casino. Yes. Mm-hmm.
They would want my services.
You think so, eh?
I know so.
Were you
Everyone wants Merrick services.
Were you going this alone, or were we putting somebody else with you on this? Just you?
Yes, just me.
Okay. So, with your best guy, because like I said, this was a party plan, so you don't have to go specifically with Merrick's skill, the best skill of, gather info, that kind of thing. Who's our and with some aid another, if you guys wish, that kind of thing going on.
Probably me.
Okay.
I would assume.
Oh, you guys also have you guys had Zin that's hacked into the computer, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'll do his computer use, and you guys want to do some gather info, just to make sure.
I will assist.
Use the computer.
7.
12.
28.
You are the supercomputer.
37.
Bumps you up to something higher.
So, not only you guys can
You get his SIN number as well with that?
no. You not only find out that Jacques Mandelbrot is the owner. He's not some kind of puppet. Like, he's not in somebody's pocket. You know what I mean? He is the real owner. There's no silent partner. There's nothing dirty going on. You know what I mean? That kind of digging and gathering information with the 2837 and even plus 2 from Poser.
That original self-made man kind of thing?
Yeah.
He's the legit
Well, as legit as you can get on Bespin. I mean,
in the crime industry.
Yeah, no, in the casino industry.
Sorry, my bad.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in a Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13 kind of vein that Matt keeps asking me for, there's Merrick, and thanks.
Montage time, baby.
That's right. Thanks to.
Oh, I get to do a slow walk.
Yeah. Heading up to the Royal Casino, that type of thing.
With a glass of water shaking in someone's hand.
This little kid looks scared. This little alien kid is ice cream falls down. You know,
It's like the Pacific Rim all over again.
Yeah, only in slow motion. Merrick, like, because in Merrick's mind it's slow motion, so it's falling slowly, and he can scoop it up and plop it back on, walk away. You know, that kind of thing. Give him the big wink, right? Gets to the door, and you have a reservation pass to be admitted by staff to see Jacques in his office, courtesy of Zin use computer. You show up and do the old, you have a window where they're expecting someone, and you can just show up and you don't have to say you're them, but this is the person they're expecting and they're looking to hire, and you know, that kind of thing.
I show up.
Okay.
On time.
So, a long slow motion montage later, which could have been done a lot faster if we just kept you out of Matt's head. You find yourself standing in Jacques' office. A feminine sounding droid, one of the what do they call them? Personal C-3PO was a. There's a classification for the
translation droid.
Protocol droid.
Protocol. Thank you. Sorry, a protocol droid that acts as sort of a living filing cabinet, computer, security running, that type of thing. You know, because she's also directing, you know, security around. Asks you to come with her, and then leads you to this lavish office with a beautiful view, like what you see behind me. You know, of your cloud skyline. In the upper part of the city, huge office with the sunset blazing in through a tinted window. Rare, strange-looking items and artifacts on those cute little boxed bookshelves, you know, where they give like one little shelf, one little cube, one little thing. It's like, oh, look at that. Is that a rubber? Is that a rubber staff? No. Anyway, I don't.
No. Look over there. It's crossbow. I think that is a thing called Holy Screamer.
Yeah. Like, okay, there's a ring, there's a sword, you know, there's a samurai head. It says resolve under it. I don't know. Anyway, and she just leaves you in there and shuts the door and says, you know, says, Mr. Sorry.
Mandelbrot?
Well, you know, one pays all this money, one has to try to exploit the sound effects when one can. Mr. Mandelbrot will be with you shortly. And then she just scurries out the door, and it does the Star Wars. I mean, even this place is carpeted. You know, when Star Wars makes the transition to Star Trek, you know, everything's carpeted and the doors open by themselves, you're in a lavish part of the galaxy. You look around. Can I have a perception check, please?
Of course. At 20.
Okay. Not only the lavish desk that looks like a solid carved black onyx stone, and the artifacts of unusual nature spread around in the gorgeous sunset, there are two small shuttered exits beyond just in the side walls of this round oval looking room, and one is ajar, and you hear what sounds like water running in a refresher, like a tap.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it stops, and out comes a man, large, not large like you, but a large human, right? With a boisterous sort of swagger in his strut, in his late 40s, and looks like someone that has really been around the block. Like, this guy looks hardened as well as streetwise. He just has a charismatic and, I wouldn't say mafioso, but a real, someone that you want, not instantly like, but someone that you get the impression like, I want this guy to like me. I really don't want this guy not to like me. You just get that sense in your gut. And he comes out of the washroom. Hoo-ah! Comes around. Doesn't even look at you. Comes to his desk. Hits a button. And says, C4, is this my 2 o'clock? Yes, Mr. Manbrute. This is your 2 o'clock. Is this also my... Looks at the size of you. And my 4 o'clock? Taking you all in. No, Mr. Mandelbrot. Just your 2 o'clock. All right. So, I suppose you're wondering why someone like yourself feels the need to present himself to someone like me. Someone who, I suppose, with that view, you would say, he's got it all. Well, you know what I don't got? I don't have the resources I need at this time to pull off the biggest Sabac tournament that this galaxy has seen in an entire cycle. That's why you're here.
I know this.
All right. What do you got for me? And he looks down like for a data pad, some kind of resume.
Me. I am before you, Luke.
Yeah. No, very impressive to block doorways, you know, besides being a fire hazard, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, what do you got for me? Who recommends you? You know, where'd you come from? What do you got?
I come from the Outer Realms. I have been in war since I was... You're...
Oh. The Outer Rim. I
Yes.
see. Well, let me tell you something about the Outer Rim. Mister, and he comes up and he just kind of politely, you're like, is that real muscle? Yeah, that's real muscle. It's like steel. Look at that. Oh my God. It's just like, let me tell you something about the Outer Rim. Never been there. So I'll just have to take your word for it.
It is good that you have not been from there. I do not think you would survive.
Well, technically, this is the Outer Rim. Bespin is in the
not
Outer
the
Rim.
part that I am from.
Gonna have to take your word for that too. So, besides the obvious, and again, he just kind of like takes you all in of a mountain. Obvious cut of your jib. I need something. Something tangible. Something that tells me that you're not kind of some schmutz that just wants to ride my coattails. Trust comes from former trust, former respect. Who respects you?
Do you have a data pad?
He goes over. You really didn't come prepared for this, did you? And he
Do you
hands it
have
over.
an energy sail? It would be unfair to use my own.
He goes over, reaches in a drawer. Can I have perception?
Sure.
$20?
No,
Oh, that was your
we
look.
got
19.
a 19.
That's still good. Does a finger scoop where you're palming something. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like an extra little, I'm in the drawer picking up an item, but he actually picks up more than one kind of thing. Right? And palms it. You don't see what it is, but you do see that there's a little bit of misdirection. He pulls open the drawer, makes a decision, and then says, you know what, I'm not looking to hire someone that does parlor tricks, you know, gaining your attention up here as he scoops up several items with the other hand. Anyway, he comes over and hands you the data pad.
I am merely a proving point.
Okay. Oh, sorry, hands you the energy cell.
Right. So, you see datapad energy cell. Right?
Yeah, the mine.
I see explosive.
He looks down. He says, I'm going to ask you a question. And the answer of that question is going to change your future. And he leans in real close, not afraid of your size at all, being a relatively big guy himself. Is that a threat?
No, it is not threat. But I figure you're looking for security?
Yeah.
Assurance?
Yep.
How many people do you employ who look at the datapad and see a bomb?
Not many. Are you going somewhere with this, or...
Do you not want security to find objects like this?
Data pads? I have droids for that.
No, explosives, weaponries. Where I come from, not everything looks like what it is.
I think I know where you're going with this, but hear me. Can you just cut to the chase here and...
I have been soldier for 47 years. I have led my own brother and platoon into combat over several planets over the past 3 decades. Medic goes where combat is. And where medic goes, combat only happens if medic allows it. If you want in combat, medic always shoots first.
Is that right? So getting back to your datapad explanation?
It was merely principle. Do you want me to show you?
Please.
All right. I take an action and I turn them into a bomb.
Okay. So you rip off the face, add this to that component, and, you know, come up with something that looks either really harmless or, you know, has a really menacing little flashing, beeping light.
Yeah. And I activate it to prove the point.
Yep. Beep, beep, beep,
And with
beep,
that
beep.
whole like deet,
Yeah.
deet.
Okay. Do you let it go off somewhere, like drop in his trash can or something? You know.
No, this is like full grade frag grenade.
Oh, okay.
It's to prove the point.
The bathroom.
There won't be a bathroom after this.
Yeah, really. Okay.
Do you want me to stop this?
Sure.
So you are employing me then? If not, I am not hired by you and I will leave you with your datapad. Deet, 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 deet.
Oh, 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 ha, 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 ha. He looks at you like, are you shitting me? Right?
I put the datapad on this table.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Do a
Okay.
180.
Head for the door. He looks at it. Hold up.
Yes.
He says, well, if you got the moxie to, you know, plant this, I hope you, if you're going to start working for me, you have the balls to stick around. Right?
So this is deal then.
He reaches into a drawer. He pulls out a canister and just hoses like foam, you know, the explosion. And this is high grade. When people don't have skill, some technologist has advancedly taken up something that could, you know, really not encase a bomb, but freeze it, like a way of disarming it, you know, in like an emergency. You know what I'm saying?
An emergency diffuser kit?
No, it's not. He's not cutting wires or whatever. But
Containing?
no, he's picked something that is a bit of a gamble, right? But he's decided to. He hoses the unit. And you think he's cooling it, right? You know this won't
Right.
work, right? So anyway, he goes, just foams the shit out of it, right? And then reaches into a pocket and pulls out a flat cylinder with little spikes on it, presses the end and flips it onto the foam, and the whole thing electrifies like a what's the alternate pistol? Like it's like an EMP for droids.
Ion blaster.
Thank you, an ion. It's an ion charge that fries the foam, hence frying all electrical components within.
Right.
Type of thing. And then he just waits. And they're just sort of a little, like, you know, like this sort of, I wouldn't say it goes off, but there's just sort of that long period of time that if it would have gone off, it would have gone off by now. And he's like, huh. You know, I wasn't entirely sure that would work.
I gave it 50-50.
A gambling man.
No. I just know the odds before I engage.
Ah, exactly. Coming in here threatening me, not a good gamble. Showing off your stuff, well, you got to prove a point. But knowing your stuff, knowing the outcome, did you know I was going to do that? Did you know I was going to try to defuse it, call your bluff?
No, this would not be the first time I have left the bomb in front of a superior.
How'd that work out for you?
I got the job.
Exactly. He gets up and he comes over and he shakes your hand.
Shake, shake.
All right. C4 will, set you out, and he just... The scene pans out through the gorgeous window, showing like how elevated a position and how well, as they become tiny little silhouettes through this window over Bespin City, as he pushes you by the back, and there's that obvious, we'll get you the paperwork, we'll get you on board, get you uniform, and that kind of thing, blah blah blah, get you the permits for your gun, all that type of thing, and yeah, he hires you.
Good.
Well done. And I might even go so far as to give you a force point, but I've been really generous with them lately, and I've been kind of withholding the patron force points, So I'm going to give you one. I got to give it to you in someone's name. But our last few patron force points have been asked to be given to the bad guys. So let's bear that in mind. Now, characters that you will encounter, especially names ones, usually have like a few dark side points, and usually loose like one force point that a DM could like pull a d6 and just kind of like, oh yeah, and the encounter continues because he pulled something off. But
so who should we be thanking for that? I have an idea.
I will shout his name to the roof when the advantageous time comes, where the bad guy gives it a little bit more than and luck's on his side, as it were. That camera shot pulling out of Bespin, panning around, rotating around the city, a couple flybys with space traffic looking for a place to dock, finally settles on another part of Bespin, where on a landing platform, we have Rahal Oberus standing, scrutinizing another man's ship. Now, if you're in your driveway and you like your car, right? And you're proud of your car, and there's always that, put the key in, you look around. It's a guy thing, it's a reaction. As soon as you put the key in, there's always that, is anyone watching me get into this awesome thing? Or is anyone watching me get into this hunk of junk? Right? Sure enough, there's some neighbor 3 doors down. Now this is a completely hypothetical, type of thing. Not me at all. No, I'm sorry. 3 doors down, in a sweet, sweet ride, and he's there buffing it, or he's there, he's just in it, or it's just there by itself, mocking you. So there Rahal stands in front of another captain's ship, scrutinizing it.
I've got ship envy. The glitchy tortoise leaves me wanting.
So, any idea who I was trying to pull inspiration and emulate there as the casino owner?
And a little bit of Christopher Walken.
It was a dash because I didn't want to go full on, but think the Ocean series and he owned a casino. I literally still was like, here's an Ocean series character, owns a casino, and I actually used him in Dice Before Dishonor as the NSA guy. Remember? No? Hoo-ah!
Oh, Pacino.
He freaking leans in, like, you can't hear it in the voice, but like every time I leaned into this, really? That's kind of, they did like 4 times. No one got it? Okay.
I'm going to disappoint you again. I've never seen any of the Ocean's movies.
Do you know who Al Pacino is?
Yes, I am aware of Al Pacino.
And hence,
I've actually seen any of his stuff.
And okay, there you go. Obviously, I did a shitty impression. Moving on.
I thought it was more Rodney Dangerfieldy.
Okay. Jeez. No respect. So you're looking for Captain Korima Moro. Captain Moro is a Twi'lek, and he owns a certain ship on a certain landing pad that you've been directed to, but not going to reveal name or landing pad just yet.
Da-da-da-da.
But
Sorry.
basically, he's been told that if you take the deal, right, which you did with Switch, right?
Yep.
Switch has probably called him and said, expect a visit from my guy, and described you, or at least gave your name. So he'd probably be expecting you sometime before the tournament.
Yep.
All right.
Roll on up and knock on the door.
Okay. This is probably one of those mono-y-mono moments. Man-to-man. You don't want to bring the muscle Merrick and make it look like you're going to try and take his ship or whatever. This is actually one of those good times, right?
Merrick was busy anyways.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm rolling in alone for sure.
So you just stand out there like near the windshield or something till this guy notices you, or you just stand out like a greeting party of one. Like, there's kind of like that space around a ship where there's cargo and a mechanic, or if you're not a ship passenger or crew, it's obviously you're there. It's like standing on a guy's lawn, even with the sprinkler going over you. There's somebody on the lawn, honey. I think he wants to talk to it.
No, I go and knock on the
hull. Okay.
On the gate, the landing
boarding ramp.
Thank you.
Okay. Though almost immediately, as if expecting you, there's that piston hiss and a little bit of steam shoots out, and down comes the ramp, really, really slowly, right?
Sweet. I'm gonna walk up that thing like Vader.
Yeah. Get all the way at the top, right? Camera pulls out, and you just see like the side breadth of the ship and the ramp, and you see the pinstripe legs get halfway up the ramp, and then like inside the ship, like a guy wanted to come out, make an exit. You're like, dude, what are you doing? It's supposed to be my big exit, that kind of thing. And you board the ship, and the ramp immediately closes, and the camera pulls out again, leaving that scene, and we'll get back to Rahal's special meeting. Now I want to go back to Poser. What were you doing, Poser? Were you going? You were trying to get into the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Band practice. Tryouts,
Oh, yeah. There was the custom agents, right? You inspired them to put something together?
I didn't inspire them to do anything. They got the inspiration themselves.
Yeah, right
I
after
just happened to be the catalyst for that.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. Now, didn't we say there was like an email? Something came across your attention that it was comm chatter or something that Zin had hacked. That it was like, yeah, we're putting the guys together. Yeah, it was something like there's like there literally was a time and place or a tryout or something.
It was probably like some like notice to all residents or all people on Bespin. Just like up on like news boards or something. I don't know exactly how. But either way, saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I heard about it word of mouth from the bar. That's what it was.
You're at the cantina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cantina, bar, either or. Yeah, when I was just scoping things out. So heard it word of mouth. Tryouts are tonight, so heading over there.
Okay. So crossing through the heavy hustle and bustle. Yeah?
Yep.
And you finally make your way to a little cantina, right? Called the Gate. Not a very flashy name, and it's not the best part of, you know, it's more like a, as opposed to guests, more like staff. It's filled with people in uniforms, all like, you know, like custom guards, servants, you know, people that work in the food chain, that kind of thing, like actual people that make a living on Bespin as opposed to a place to hang out. And this is like their downtime, right?
Yeah.
So you make your way across the busy fold and you rock your way into a alien nightclub. Music's pumping, you know, and it's a bit of a backdrop, like it echoes and stays in the background, so there's a good ambient. People can still have conversations, right? You see all kinds of workers, 2s and 3s and 4s, crowded around little standing tables and some sitting tables, you know, with their white, tall, highball glass of foaming something. That kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yep. And head in. What do you want to do?
Well, I'll, you know, walk in, get the case in hand. You know, look around. Do I see a gathering of people with instruments?
Not out here in the actual, like, open bar area, no, like in the cantina itself.
Okay. Then I will walk up to the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Is he busy with someone, or...
Nope.
Just going?
No, you see the top half of a droid, and the bottom half is a spike on a rail. He slides up and down behind the bar, and the bar itself, at strategically points, has those fizzer shooter sprayers.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, and this tiny little flat head, and he comes all the way down the bar, and he's like, what'll it be?
I'm actually not drinking at the moment. I heard there was tryouts for a band. I was curious what that was going on.
Welcome to the Gate. Would you like some sustenance? Some refreshment? What'll it be?
One of your local brews.
Okay. With one sort of 3-fingered, grippy clawed hand, he reaches beneath the bar, flips up a glass, catches it, slams it on the table in a big show, like this is going to go somewhere, and then totally defeats the purpose by just up comes like the hose nozzle and the fizzy, and just like a little tiny bit in the bottom. Pushes it towards you.
Slide him some credits.
Okay. You drink it?
Yeah.
Okay. Even the slightest sip, it's good, but you can tell that this is, you know, it's watered down. It's the beer. It's the long, you know, I'm here with alcohol in my hand. You're not. This is, you know, you need several of these to actually become intoxicated. This isn't strong stuff like you had
which is
in
good
in the bar. Yeah, like you had in the pod, Merrick's homebrew bottle. This is just like watered down space ale. You know. Anyway, as soon as you have a sip of it, though, he reaches out the hose again like a refill and wants some more.
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Anyway, and he just slides away, scoops up your credits, slides way down the bar.
Is there anyone else sitting at the bar?
Yep. There's 2 female aliens that they're looking at you, and then they look around the room, and they're leaning in, and it doesn't look like these 2 are on the prowl. It kind of looks like they're here to have a drink, and they're like judging or making fun, you know, like a couple sisters or a couple best friends are like, oh, look, you know, but, you know, there's a tea. They have a look at you, you know, and then go back to their drink, that kind of thing. But down at the very end of the bar, you missed him when you came in, or he's just suddenly saddled up, literally facing you at that keystone point at the far end.
Yeah.
Is what you would definitely call like a space rummy regular. You know,
Okay.
he's got the long jacket. You know, it looks like the guy that they busted out of jail in the second Star Wars movie that Disney produced that portrays them. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're particularly the gambler, right? He's disheveled looking. He's got a long coat. You know, couple of scars, a little smudgy looking, right? Got a drink in his hand. Anyway, he calls over the bartender bot, right? Gets a couple of things filled up, scoops them up in his fingerless gloves, and sallies on past the ladies, right? Drops two in front of them, right? And like with a nudge and a wink, this is for you. And they're just like, piss off, jerk. And just keeps going completely unfazed. Comes down and presents you with 2 shots. Says, "You're new around here, and I hate to drink alone. What do you say, buddy? Will you give this old timer a bit of your story for something a lot less watered down than," and he kind of points at the bot, "than that vending machine on rails has to offer?"
As much as I appreciate the company, I'm actually not here looking to get drunk and forget what I have learned. I'm actually looking for supposed tryouts for a band. I was told it was happening here tonight, so.
Is that right? Downs his. One last polite moment, look at your glass and look at you, and then kind of shrugs and with the other hand scoops up the other one and downs it. Slams it down. I might know a little something about that.
Would you be privy to tell me?
Sure. But you first. Got a name, kid?
Poser.
Blake. Holds out a hand.
Take his hand, shake
Okay.
it.
Fingerless glove, dirty, oily smelling. Maybe he's a mechanic. Maybe, like, he doesn't dress like one, but he does have sort of like someone's that hung out like with the Ugnaughts, and the stuff just gets on your clothes, like he's been everywhere.
Yeah.
Or just hasn't changed his clothes in a while, something like that.
Okay. I'm not gonna wipe it. I'm just gonna go back to taking sips. So.
Okay. So, sorry, did you say poser or sham?
Poser.
Poser. Okay. So, poser, was it?
Yep.
May I ask, are you some kind of musician?
Yep. Guitarist, actually.
Really?
Yeah, my old group and I had a falling out.
Oh, that's too bad. So that's what you got in the case? Your axe, your drumala, your... Anyway, he goes through a whole bunch of alien slang for guitar, but it all means the same thing.
Yeah.
Are you any good?
I'd like to say so. I mean, we were fairly popular back on the planet.
All right.
Made it myself, actually.
Well, I knew there was something about you when you came in. I know, you've heard this before. The local rummy, just is lonely and is willing to spend a couple credits on, a fresh face and a little bit of company. But no, there's something about you. And he looks, and his eye is like one eye by itself, while the other one's still looking at you, just kind of travels right up the cone head. Back down. Yep. Felt it in my gut. You get a feeling about somebody as soon as they walk in the door. You're just kind of like, I want to know that guy. I got to talk to that guy. Something in my future that involves that guy. You know what I'm talking about?
No, not at all.
No, that's too bad, Hoser. So, I'll tell you what. Yeah, there's been a couple of, shall we say, off-duty custom agents and a couple other white collars kicking around here, They're not overly welcome. This is more of what you'd say a working man's blue-collar community. Anyway, they came in, big announcement, want to start up a band, looking for a front man, looking for this, looking for that kind of thing. I was here when it happened. Anyway, you're supposed to meet them here, but this isn't where they're getting together.
Interesting.
And they're not going to be back here for another 2 cycles because they're hitting every cantina. And these guys are pretty desperate.
Any idea which way they were headed and where I can cut them off? Seem like you know your way around the place.
Oh, I know just about every cantina here, man, but that's not going to help you. I mean, think about it. These guys are that desperate, and they're doing a full circuit. They might have already found just about everybody they need by now. Now, what you need is to go to where they're going to end up, where they're going to jam, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I got a pretty good idea where that would be.
Okay.
So, for, shall we say, a little finder's fee, I'll take you right to them. I'm what you would call somebody that's in the know. And this is how I make my living. I put people together. I see someone, I get a feeling about them, I ask them their story, and what do you know? Blake has an answer. I think I got your answer, kid. I think I can take you right to where you want to be. Now, does that not sound like a decent 50 credit deal?
It does. Almost sounds a little too good to be true.
Yeah.
And as a good buddy of mine told me, if it's too good to be true, it definitely is.
Suit yourself. He slides. He kind of turns his back on you a little bit. Doesn't go far away, but slides down like a proverbial seat to give you space. You know, summons the bot.
I didn't say that I wasn't going to take you up on it. Slap the 50 credits down right on the table.
Okay. Puts his head down, kind of chuckling. You almost had me there, kid. You're good. The hand goes out, the fingerless glove curls around the credits. All right. He says, I was going to give you directions, but I got to say, that was good. That really made my day. This place is getting stale. I'll take you there myself. Let's go. And he, leads you out. We walk out of the cantina and we start weaving our way through the streets of Bespin.
Cool. I'm going to be keeping my eye out for anything suspicious.
Like other coats closing in on you? Or let's take the back alley. Nothing ever bad happened in an alley. This is a shortcut.
Exactly.
Nope.
I know exactly what happens to to people when they walk into an alley.
Well,
we've done that to people.
So far, this seems legit. I mean, he had straight, like you said, these guys are white collar, so they probably have like something on an upper level. Not the rich, but certainly better than where you are. And he takes us straight to a, like a big public turbo lift, very public, lots of people that were pushing past kind of thing, Now he kind of sticks out in that once you've made him in that long coat kind of thing, just kind of trudging along. And he keeps a brisk pace, but he doesn't try to lose you anything just because he got his 50 credits, tries to bolt, Yeah. Now with your use the force on perception, you could actually kind of ping out and use for like if he tried to conceal himself and duck away. An easy 50 credit kind of thing. But you didn't get the feel that this guy was like pulling some kind of kid prank, street urchin kind of thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude's kind of gritty, and what does your gut tell you about him? You tell me. But doesn't seem to be, for 50, it's not worth his time for 50 creds to, just lead you out to a street and then like, ha, and run away. And then, like he says,
it might be worth 50 credits for him to, lead me out to a street and then ambush me and rob me.
He did say what was in the case. It piqued his curiosity, but you're a musician and you're an instrument will only be worth a couple hundred, He doesn't know you got a vibro axe in there that's modified. He thinks there's a guitar in there or a bassoon or something, and depending on the rarity of the instrument, it's like still a couple hundred credits, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. So he leads you on. And again, the camera pulls back. Way back. But as the camera pulls back, it turns into sort of a vignette of a sort of a brown brush-stroked black and white style where everything just fades to that tannish bronze of a 1920s photo. But in it, highlighted in red, we have the two figures making their way up to an upper quarter. And as the camera pans out, you see two figures in a high-class wide sunset absorbing window, making their way down to a mainer route. You see one person making his way in towards, all from different parts of Bespin, all coming to use the same streets and arteries, because no matter who you are, no matter what walk of life you're from, a street is a street, and it leads the same kind of people and many, many different kinds of people up and down and all around the important places in Bespin. What are you laughing at? I'm trying to be epic here, and I got 5 guys muted up and giggling. What the hell are you laughing at?
Yeah, I'm not muted. I'm not giggling yet.
Oh, we were just joking about how it'd be really funny if it was like a K-pop band. So then I Googled Star Wars K-pop and found a K-pop
Lightsaber.
Star Wars lightsaber song.
Okay. And this is what you've smoked in the chat.
This is just what we're picturing Aiden and his new band playing.
Oh, okay. So if I were to run said video.
넌 외로울고 차갑게 여는 눈빛 깊숙이 숨은 별빛 그 짙은 어둠 속 긴장에 빠진 너를 깨워낼 수만 있다면 멀리 찬란한
And we'll see you next time on We Shot K-Pop First. Say goodnight, Poser.
Good night, everybody.
손을 내민 널 지키려 이곳을 찾아 헤맸던 너를